Hello my craft friends, Tracy here with Sweet Bay Lane. In this video, we're going to be DIY crafting with wood. So if you love working with wood as much as I do, and from the love you've shown my previous woodworking videos, I think you guys do. So I thought I'd bring you 3 more fun, high quality wood DIYs with a summer theme. So let's go ahead and get started. For this DIY, you're going to need a 14-inch wood round. You also need some painter's tape, and we're going to start by taping off a little less than half of our wood round. Once we have our wood round taped off, we'll then take this green acrylic paint and paint a dark green stripe around the bottom half of our wood round. And I'm going to be using a makeup sponge because it gives you a nice clean line. Now that we have our green stripe painted, we're going to paint a light green stripe directly above our dark green stripe. Now that we have our dark green and our light green stripe painted, we're going to fill in the rest of the half wood round with red. Now that we have our red painted, we're going to reposition our tape so we can paint the top side. Now that we have our tape repositioned, we're going to paint the remaining part of the wood round, sides and back, with the dark green paint. Okay, that looks great. For this next step, we're going to be taking some of the light green paint, a medium paintbrush, and painting squiggly lines down the green part of our wood round. Once we have our squiggly lines painted, we're then going to highlight them with white. Now your project will look something like this. And once we remove the painter's tape, you'll see the delineation between the red and the green. We're going to take our black marker and paint in some watermelon seeds. And then once I had my watermelon seeds painted in, I thought they could use a little highlight to define them. So I just used the white paint marker from the set and gave the seeds a little highlight. Oh yes, that's exactly what those little seeds needed. Just a little highlight. Now we're continuing on with our next step, and that's going to be adding this white welcome vinyl decal. I then added a hanger with this jute twine and some white beads. And actually, I got a little ahead of myself because I wanted to take my piece outside and give it 3 good coats of the Rust-Oleum matte clear enamel, but to remedy that, I just covered up my ribbon that I put over the twine with some painter's tape, took it outside, and gave it 3 good coats. And I'm glad I did because it really made the design pop. Now we're going to remove our painter's tape, clean off the back side, and we're going to add a bow to the front side. And for that, I'm going to be using some of this fun red and white polka dot ribbon and this green and white gingham ribbon. Both of these ribbons I purchased at Walmart. I just made some simple bows and glued them together. Now we're moving on to DIY number 2. For this one, you're going to need a 1x4 cut in 6 pieces measuring 3.5 inches. That way your cubes or your blocks are going to measure 3.5 inches square. We start by lining up our blocks in a row. Now that we have our blocks lined up, we're going to be painting the front side of them. And to do that, I'm going to start with some of this dark green paint. We're going to paint a strip across the bottom of our wood blocks, and we're going to be using a makeup sponge. Then once we had our dark green stripe painted, we came in and painted a light green stripe right above the dark green. For the rest of the wood, we're going to paint that red. Hey guys, if you like what you see so far, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already done so. We'd love to have you here at Sweet Bay Lane. Once we have our red painted, I then came in with a smaller makeup sponge that I'd cut down and painted a white line between the light green and the red. This added some fun definition to our pieces. Now that we have that done, your block should look something like this. But we're not done yet. we're going to take a black paint marker and we're going to draw some teardrops in our red sections of our wood blocks. And I love these markers. They come in a 12-piece set and I purchased them from Walmart. They're so easy to work with, and drawing those little teardrops was so easy. Now that we have all of our teardrops painted on, your pieces should look like little slices of watermelon. Now that we have that done, we need to do something with the sides and back of our wood blocks. And for me, I'm going to stain mine, but you could paint them or leave them natural, whatever you prefer. And I'm going to be using the Americana Gel Stain in Walnut. I love that nice aged look it gave my wood blocks. Once we had that done, we're going to kind of round the corner of finishing up our project by adding some lettering to our wood blocks. And my letters spell the word summer. And for the U, I'm going to be using this cute little white watermelon. I think that little watermelon is adorable. Then you're left with this cute little piece of summer home decor. I also took mine out and gave it 3 good coats of the Rust-Oleum clear enamel, and that really made the design pop. Now moving on to DIY number 3.
For this DIY, you'll need a piece of 1x8 cut down to 8 inches. You'll also need a 1x2 cut down to 8 inches, along with 2 wooden dowels measuring 3 inches long, and their diameter is 3/8 of an inch.
To start our project, we're going to be drilling 2 holes in each side of our 1x8. And to do that, we're just going to find the center of our board, measure a 1/2 inch in from the edge, and mark our spot. Once we have our spot marked, we're then going to take our drill with a 3/8 inch spade bit and drill our holes. We're not going to drill all the way through, just about 3/4 of the way through the wood. And then once I had my holes drilled, just to make sure my dowels fit in there, I gave them a test run, and they fit perfectly. Then once I realized my dowels fit, I just sanded down the rough edges from the drilling. And to do this, I like to roll my sandpaper in a little tube and then stick it inside the hole and kind of roll it around inside. It smooths the inside and it also smooths the outer edge perfectly. Okay, those look great. Now we're moving on to our next step, and that's going to be drilling holes in our 1x2. And for this one, we wanted to match up with the dowel holes of our 1x8, and we're going to be using a 1/2 inch wood spade and drilling those holes all the way through our 1x2. Okay, now that we have those drilled through, we'll just clean them up with some sandpaper.
Now that we have all of our pieces done, we're going to take our wood dowels and some wood glue and glue them into our 1x8. Okay, once we have our dowels glued down, we'll clean up the excess glue and we'll let them dry. Once they've dried, we're now going to stain our pieces. I'm going to stain mine anyway, and you can paint or stain, whatever you prefer. And of course, I'm going to be using this Americana gel stain in walnut. Okay, that looks great. Now that we have that done, we're going to embellish our 1x2. We're going to take this decal I printed out in my silhouette machine in a permanent white vinyl, and it says napkins. We're going to attach it to the top side of our 1x2. That fits perfectly. Now we're going to take it outside and give it 3 good coats of the Rust-Oleum matte clear enamel. And then look at that beautiful sheen. I love this. Then you're left with this cute little napkin holder. I love the polka dot napkins in it too. What do you guys think? I think it turned out adorable. I also think it'd be the perfect addition to your summer parties. Well, that wraps it up for these 3 fun summer DIY projects. If you're still in the crafting mood, go ahead and click on one of these upcoming videos and it'll take you to some more crafting DIY fun. Well, until next time, make sure and keep it crafty.